As we all know, the prices of food has gone up immensely, and in this video I'm going to show you how to survive for 2 weeks of only $38.54 per week or 33.19 euros. I will show you where to do your shopping for the best prices and how to plan your meals so that you don't have to throw away anything and make nice healthy meals with cheap ingredients. First of all, you would want to find places where you can do your shopping as cheap as possible. I have about 3 places where I choose to do my shopping. This place has cheap veggies and fruits, and they also have these fruits and veggies you can buy for a cheaper price, but the quality might not be as good. They have a lot of canned veggies and cheap spices, and also you can buy lentils and rice and chickpeas and other stuff like this, or in bags. The frozen veggies I bought at the big supermarket, and some things I bought at my local store. See what's cheapest in your area. This is my first shopping tour for these 2 weeks. I bought potatoes and yellow onion. I'm thinking I'm going to have to buy some more potatoes later. Aubergines or eggplant. They had a low price, but I don't know the quality of them. I bought lemons because lemon water during the day is really healthy. I bought 3 cucumbers for a cheap price and 2 zucchinis. I also already had rice, basmati rice, some rice flour, this paprika puree. I wanted to try that out in my casseroles. Even if we're going to be very cheap, we also have to make the food taste good, I think. This is tahini. Tahini can be used in many dishes, I will show you. Sunflower seeds. They will give you extra fat and nutrients. 1 bag of dried chickpeas, 400 grams. 2 bags of red lentils, 400 grams each. I also bought a bag of carrots, 1 kilo bag of them, and some kale. And this is a bag of oatmeal, oats, to make oatmeal. I also bought 2 large bags of frozen vegetables, 1 kilo each, green beans, and a mix of broccoli, carrots, and cauliflower. I also bought my favorite seasoning curry. This is one very cheap bag, but it has no additives and I like it very much. I also bought apples, 1 for each day. It's important with the vitamins and to eat fruit each day. What I also bought to the oatmeal is raisins. Now I'm going to make my first oatmeal breakfast. Some raisins for the sweet taste, and water and some salt. Now let it boil until it gets soft, and as you like it to be. Perfect, now the first breakfast is done. Now I'm going to take care of the aubergines that I bought and see what shape they're in. As I told you, I bought a very cheap bag of eggplants or aubergines, and my conclusion after I saw them was that I could have bought 1 or 2 fresh aubergines instead. A lot of them look like this actually. But I'm freezing some of the good parts, and I'm frying some for the first lunch that I'm going to make, along with about half of 1 zucchini, 1 half of a carrot, and I'm going to use the paprika puree for the first time. I added some pre-boiled chickpeas and cumin. Since I already had parsley at home, I'm using that, but it's not necessary at all if you don't have it. Some lemon juice and salt. This is the first lunch served with basmati rice. Bon appetit! Since I made so much casserole, this is good for dinner together with diced carrot. Day number 2. I already had my oatmeal breakfast and now I'm making lunch. I'm dicing half of the zucchini that is left from yesterday, some salt and some rice flour. Then you have to blend it well and let it sit for about 10 minutes. Also add any spice that you like. I added some curry. Boil in the broccoli mix for a couple of minutes only. And now it's time to fry small bits of the zucchini mixture in some sunflower oil while the veggies are cooking. Turn them when they are golden brown. Now I make a tahini sauce. I'm using garlic, tahini paste and some lemon juice. Sea salt and water. I took too much and then I mixed it with a blender. It got too loose, so I'm adding more tahini. Here we have our lunch number 2. Feel free to also add rice to this meal. I added some sunflower seeds now and only ate patties together with vegetables and tahini sauce that I made. I like to add a fresh vegetable to my meals, and this time I had cucumber. For dinner we had basmati rice together with zucchini patties and the leftover from the casserole I made the other day. Roasted sunflower seeds and diced carrots. Lunch on day 3, it's a dish with fried vegetables. So we start with the potatoes and make small cubes of them. And then we take the kale and make cubes of them and zucchini, fried onion and boiled potatoes for some minutes. I'm cooking green beans. Put in the zucchini and the kale and the boiled potatoes. So this is going to fry a bit, so it's golden brownish and really tasteful. Now I added some paprika puree, salt and pepper, take what you have, along with the beans and some fresh cucumber. This is lunch number 3. And I made lots, so I had the same as dinner. Another day, another oatmeal, it's yummy. And today we're going to make lunch with onion, zucchini, make tahini sauce and some kale today as well. Starting to chop the onion and zucchini, fry them with the kale until it's soft and a bit brownish. Salt and pepper. The rice is cooking over here, and this is the dish. Put on the tahini sauce. I made it quite loose this time. And voila, lunch number 4. Now it's time to soak the lentils and the chickpeas, for we're going to use them tomorrow. So I just fill it up with water and let them sit on the bench overnight. Now it's time for dinner number 4. I'm going to make a wok. I have some kale left and carrots, sunflower seeds, an onion and some romaine salad. Now I chopped everything finely and just fried it all in the wok. Put on some water and let it stir for a while. Looks so good. Now I add salt, quite a lot, and my curry, beloved curry. Just stir it all and let it cook for a while. Then we're going to have rice with this casserole, of course. It's going to be a nice and warming dinner today. I added some roasted sunflower seeds and some of the romaine salad. Now it's time to cook the lentils. I used half of a bag of lentils for this. The chickpeas can stay a little bit longer in their water. This is half of the lentils that I cooked. The other half I'm going to make something else later with. Now I'm going to make lentil patties. I have fried onion and some of my spices. I added some rice flour and just blend it all. Fry them in some oil until they are golden brown, just like these. Today I'm using some leftover rice that I had and just fried rice in my pan that already had spices and some oil. Now they are done and I still have half of the lentil dough left, and I'm going to save it for later in the fridge. Since today I was eating lunch with a friend, this is actually dinner number 5, and I will compensate for it later to make another lunch. Bon appetit! Today we're having some leftovers for lunch. The lentil patty dough and the leftover wok that I made the other day. Still have some left. I made some more patties and I warmed the wok up. Added some salads. This is going to be so good to eat, and I still have 3 patties left and I have a little bit of dough left. This is lunch number 6. Enjoy! For dinner I will make a lentil stew with the rest of the lentils that I cooked the other day. I will add tomato passata and the paprika puree. First I'm going to fry the onion and then I'm going to add the ginger. So now I fry the onion a bit in some oil. I'm adding some paprika puree to the onion and let it fry a bit. Brings out the flavor. Now I'm adding the tomato passata and letting it stir for a little bit before I add the lentils and some spices like salt, pepper and maybe garlic or whatever you have. I did add some cumin and salt and pepper and some chili actually, and this is what it looks like together with basmati rice. This is going to be a nice and warming dinner. Now it's time to rinse off the chickpeas and boil them. They're going to boil for 45 minutes to 1 hour. So I'm rinsing them. And putting them in a large can and filling up with water. You have to watch later so the water is still over the chickpeas. If it's not, then you can fill up some more water. I did have some leftovers from yesterday, rice and the lentil stew. So this is what I'm going to have for lunch. I'm not going to eat the whole lentil stew, so I'm going to save some for later. And also I have some roasted sesame seeds. This is lunch number 7, together with some romaine salad. Now after 1 week, it's time for me to fill up with oats and raisins. How about you? If you also had this for breakfast, do you have to buy more? For dinner today, we're having the leftover lentil patty dough and lentil stew. I'm going to cook basmati rice, make some patties, and here is the chickpeas that is boiled, and I'm saving the water for later. That is good to if you want to bake something without eggs. So I'm frying the patties. It's not so many, but we will have them as a kind of nice snack to the meal. Warming up the lentil stew and boiling the rice. Now they are done. They're so crunchy. I used a little bit more oil because I was wanting some crunchy stuff today. I haven't been using my vegetables so much, my frozen ones, so I'm going to cook them now and have them for this dinner. This is dinner number 7. Rice, vegetables, patties, lentil stew. Bon appetit! I did have some leftovers from this dinner. I'm going to save them in the fridge and have them for lunch tomorrow. 1 week has passed and now it's time for me to see what kind of food I have left and if I need to buy something. I did not spend the whole amount of money yet. I spend a little bit more than half of the money that I'm going to use. So I have about half the bag of vegetables left, a lot more of the green beans, the frozen aubergine or eggplant, half of the chickpeas that I cooked, I froze them down, and half of them I have saved in a jar to make hummus later. Here is the oats that I have left, just a little bit in the first bag, and then I have 1 full bag, almost a full bag of raisins. And of the rice flour I just have a little bit left. 2 packets of tomato passata left. And the rice, it's almost half of the bag. I have some tahini left and quite a lot of paprika puree. Maybe that wasn't a good buy, I don't know. I have a lot left of the sunflower seeds. I have half the bag of chickpeas and I have 1.5 bag of red lentils left. What kind of vegetables? I have 3 onions left and 4 potatoes, 1 large bit of kale. I have 2 lemons and some romaine lettuce, 1 zucchini and 1 bit of cucumber left, and some apples also. This is what I have. What can we do with this? Let's see. This is the leftovers from dinner day 7 that is good to have for lunch on day 8, together with roasted sunflower seeds and some cucumber. Now it's finally time to make some hummus. So I have chickpeas that we boiled the other day, lemon. In my freezer I already had basil and chili, but normally you use garlic in hummus, and also tahini. I took out some of the frozen aubergine or eggplant from the freezer, and I'm going to make roasted vegetables in the oven together with the hummus. Yes, I have some of them left in the freezer. This is everything you need: the chickpeas, tahini and spices. Normally you use garlic and cumin, salt and lemon when you make hummus. But today I'm making a special one. I have already roasted the aubergines a bit in the oven, and now I put on potatoes, some salt and sunflower oil, and into the oven they go. And this is dinner number 8. Roasted vegetables, some sliced carrots and hummus. Bon appetit! Since we are on day 9 now and I still have money left, I decided to buy some more food actually, because as I noticed there are room for another round of shopping. So I bought tikka masala spice, as you saw, and some olives. some peaches, more lemons, grapefruit, tomatoes, romaine salad, and 2 zucchinis. For lunch, I'm going to make zucchini patties. I have grated 1 whole zucchini, some salt on them, and the rice flour that I had left. I'm using curry to season. And now blend it all and let it sit for about 10 minutes for it to get a bit watery and soft. Then it's ready to be fried. I made 5 of them for lunch and I saved the rest for dinner tonight. They should be golden brown and easy to flip. And today I'm cooking some green beans. I like when they boil about 10 minutes. This is lunch for today. Basmati rice with zucchini patties, green beans and cucumber. This is the last shopping I'm going to do with the last of the money that I have. I bought coconut milk, garlic and potatoes. I'm going to use the spice I bought, tikka masala, and make an Indian dish. This is what I need: 2 tomatoes, tikka masala, coconut milk, onions, ginger. And to that I'm going to use my frozen vegetables. First I start with frying the onion. Then I'm adding the spice and the grated ginger and the garlic. Then add some water and let it be for about half a minute until it gets thick. Adding the tomatoes. Let it cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. Add some more water and let it boil for a little while. Meanwhile, cooking the vegetables. Just a couple of minutes is enough. Then I'm adding the coconut milk. Give it a stir. Just let it boil up and then take it away from the heat. Now it's time to add the cooked vegetables. I already had some green beans left from yesterday, so I'm using them as well. Just blend them in. Now it looks so good and delicious. To this, of course, we're adding basmati rice. Then I'm adding lemon and salt, of course. Today I forgot to film when I put it on the plates, but this is dinner number 9. Day 10. I already had my oatmeal for breakfast as usual, and now I'm cooking lunch. I'm making basmati rice, and of course I have leftovers from yesterday's casserole. Quite a lot of it, and I'm going to warm some up for lunch. This is my lunch on day 10, together with some romaine salad. If you made this vegan tikka masala, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I do. For dinner day 10, we're going to eat roasted potatoes with garlic, and together with that we will have zucchini patties and a tomato and olive salad. This is the leftover zucchini mixture we had the other day. As I now know the result of frying them, I should have added some more flour to this mixture because it's a little bit too wet and the patties went a little bit too soft, but still okay. The potatoes are in the oven together with the garlic and thyme. They are starting to look good. Meanwhile, I'm going to make a tomato salad with onion and olives. So this is the final dinner: potatoes, patties, and olive tomato salad with onions. Bon appetit! Today I'm going to make an easy lunch since I'm going away. I'm going to fry some vegetables: zucchini, onion, tomato, and kale. Just fry them in a little bit of oil and boil some basmati rice to this. Spice it up with the spices that you like. As you know, I like curry, so curry it will be, and some salt, of course. So this is my lunch for today: the basmati rice with vegetables, and I also made the tahini sauce with the tahini, garlic, and water and salt. This will come along with me for my adventures for the day, and I see you tonight. As I get home, I was really tired, and I'm thinking that pancakes is an easy way to have dinner tonight. So I do have some potato starch and my gluten-free oats, some salt, 2 cups of oats, 1 cup of potato starch, or whatever you have, some sea salt, and fill up with water. Then you just mix it with a blender. Mix for quite a long time because you don't want to fill the bits of the oats in there. Heat up some oil in a pan and start to fry the pancakes, as many as you like. Now I have made as many as I would like, and I still have like half the batter left. Maybe I will have it tomorrow or the next day. As I oftentimes feel a little bit hungry still after pancakes, I roast some sunflower seeds and adding some salt, plus a little bit of olives as a snack after dinner tonight. Day 12. Now I'm going to use the rest of the half bag of red lentils that I have, and I'm soaking them because I feel it's easier to wash them if they are soaked a little bit. There can be a lot of sand on the lentils. When they are washed properly, I'm adding water and putting them to boil. I'm making a dal or lentil stew today with half of an onion that I have left, ginger and garlic. I did have mustard seeds at home, so I'm adding that, but there is no need to. And for this I have basmati rice. So first I fry the onion, and then I'm adding the garlic and ginger. Fry until it doesn't smell raw anymore. And then I'm adding some cumin and my tikka masala spice, letting it fry for a bit. And then I'm adding water for it to simmer about 30 seconds. Then it's time to add the tomatoes. You can use canned tomatoes, whole tomatoes, or like me, tomato passata. You can let it cook for 10-20 minutes if you like. And then it's time to add the cooked lentils. I'm adding about half of the amount that I cooked. The rest I'm saving for another dish. Some salt, and if you have pepper, take pepper too. This is lunch number 12 now, I'm eating it with the rest of my cucumber and tomato and some roasted seeds. For the evening, I'm frying the leftovers from the rice I made and just reheating the lentils and some grated carrots. Bon appetit! Now it's really time to start using the frozen chickpeas and the frozen aubergine or eggplant that I froze in. I'm going to make nuggets from the half of it and hummus from the other half of the chickpeas. Start with nuggets. I'm using frozen chili, some flour, salt and garlic. I did have some sesame seeds in the cupboard, but if you don't have any seeds, it's fine. You can have flour or just nothing. And then I'm going to mix it all together. I do need some water in here, and after I made them, I think they were a bit dry, so I would have used some oil too in this batter. Then it's time to shape some nuggets and put them into seeds if you have any, or you can just put them in some flour with spice or just salt, you know, whatever you like. And then I'm going to have them in the oven for about 15 minutes. Along with the nuggets and hummus, I'm going to fry some of my vegetables, the frozen eggplant, zucchini and the rest of my kale. Start with the eggplant because it was cold. Checking on the nuggets to see how they're doing. They need a little bit more time, I think. Then the rest of the veggies are going to be fried. Oops. Now it's finally time to eat. The veggies are fried, the nuggets are done, a bit dry but it's okay. They were really good. And the hummus, lunch number 13. When it's time for dinner, I'm going away tonight, so I'm taking with me my fried veggies from before and 4 of my nuggets and some hummus. I'm saving 4 nuggets for later. I'm having my leftover lentil stew or dal, basmati rice, some green beans and the rest of the nuggets. For the last dinner, I'm going to make something called lentil fritters. I'm using the lentils I boiled the other day, garlic, ginger, potato flour and salt. You can use any flour you have. I also chose to add some tahini and chili flakes. Just add some flour, enough for the dough to get a bit thick, and mix it all together. Take quite a lot of oil because they're going to be fried, and fry them until they are golden brown. They do look a bit like pancakes. I could have made them a bit thicker, but they're still so yummy. Dinner number 14, basmati rice with lentil fritters. Yes, now I'm out of fresh veggies, and maybe you're too if you followed this. But now a new week is ahead of us and we can do some more food shopping. But first, let's see what we have left now. Maybe there is some adjustments that can be made, and maybe some products were not necessary. I do have about half the bag of carrots left, 1 potato, a lot of green beans, a lot of chilies, 1/3 maybe of the sunflower seeds, half the bag of chickpeas and 1 whole bag of red lentils. I have my spices and 1 tomato passata and the paprika puree. The paprika puree wasn't a great buy. I won't buy it again. So this is what we have left. For the next shopping, I would buy some more potatoes and eat less rice, and also try to have a little bit more variation. If you did like this video, I'm going to make more about this topic, so please subscribe and like. Thank you for watching.